Hello and welcome again. We are back. It's Sports on News Central TV. My name is Tolu Shota. The 29th season of the English Premier League kicks off this weekend, and as usual, a lot of Africans will be on parade as once again they will be looking to wrestle the Premier League title from the grasp of two notable Africans, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, who were top players for Liverpool last season as they cruised to the title. To preview the brand new season of the Premier League, I've got the guys, as usual, social distancing in these very critical times. Tunde Koiki is here. Tunde, it's another season of the Premier League. You see, you're wearing a Liverpool jersey. Your allegiances,
very clear. Very clear for everyone to see. And of course, I'm still backing Liverpool to probably retain their title from what was another stunning season, winning the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. A season that was powered by the efforts of Mohamed Salah and also Sadio Mane, but still lots of football to be played, 38-game season, and we might just see an upset.
All right, in terms of upsets, you wouldn't believe it, but only 19 players have won the English Premier League title since inception. So could that number go up? And if that's going to happen, Navi Keita is also here. It means that one of the outside teams will have to maybe upstage Manchester City or Liverpool. Manchester United, though, the jersey you are adorning, they don't particularly have a lot of African players, do they?
They do not, but if you can remember, Quentin Fortune, who just moved from United to Reading as one of their coaches. We've also had Eric Jemba, and currently Nigeria's Uno Johnny Gallo is one of the strikers for Manchester United. So if you're talking about 19, maybe United can make it 20 with Johnny Gallo as the African in there. Who knows? These things happen.
All right, let's just talk about the statistics going into this Premier League season and the amount of effort being put by Africans in one of the world's most watched leagues is one that you cannot overemphasize. The records tell us that the all-time top scorers in the Premier League for Africans, Didier Drogba leads that line with 104 goals. There's Emmanuel Adebayor, there's Yakubu Egbene, the Nigerian, then there's Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian. Just a short time in the Premier League, but he's managed to score loads and loads of goals. In terms of goals this season, though, Atunde, let me start with you. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane have shown they can score goals in a Liverpool shirt. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at Arsenal has also shown he can score goals. If we're going to pick a top scorer for the Premier League on the African side, who's going to nick that?
I think you can't look beyond those three men, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and also Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well. Salah might be a victim of his own success. His first two seasons in the Premier League where he hit more than 2 goals, also finished as Golden Boot winner in those first 2 seasons. Last season, he could only manage 19. Not bad, but for a man of his such high standards, a lot of people are particularly unhappy with that. Sadio Mane was also voted the PFA Fans Player of the Year as well. He didn't do too bad. He scored 18 goals. You expect him to also weigh in with plenty of goals as well, but you cannot look beyond this man as well, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who has been instrumental into driving Arsenal upwards and onwards. So I cannot look beyond these three men. If there will be a top scorer from the African side, it has to be from one of these three.
All right, we will be keeping our fingers crossed about who that top scorer could be. And who knows, the top scorer could be African at the end of the day in the English Premier League. Now, to you, Odioni Gallo is the name on the lips of most Nigerians after he made that move to United. Yeah. Hasn't gone particularly well with him. He's off in January. But how much of an impact can he have at Manchester United in the short time?
Well, for the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he says that whatever it is that Anthony Martial is, or whoever Anthony Martial is at the moment, he owes it to Nigeria's Odioni Gallo. So it seems there have been work behind the scenes to show Anthony Martial how to be a better striker, and it has paid off really. I think that's one area you would say he has done well for the team. And the second area is the FA Cup, where last season he was really fantastic up until the semi-final stage, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does, played Anthony Martial instead of Johnny Gallo. He was United's highest goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. So I think if he's given a lot of time, a lot of opportunity to play. He hasn't lost his goal scoring touch. He hasn't lost his goal scoring form. He hasn't lost his eye for goals as well, Johnny Gallo. He's a fantastic backup, but I think he's pushing to to be the main striker at United.
All right, then in terms of surprises, we talked about the big guys. We do expect the likes of Odion Ighalo, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to grab the headlines. But there are some other Africans who have not particularly set the Premier League alight since they joined. Mbawe Samata, the Tanzanian international, struggled a bit in his first season in the Premier League. There's also Marvelous Nakamba, who also plays for Aston Villa, also didn't particularly set the Premier League alight. If we're looking at the Africans that haven't had a good time, they probably haven't set the league alight, but this could be their year. Who are you going to pick?
It's possible. You did talk about the captain of the Tanzania national team, Bwana Samata. Don't forget he joined in January. It's pretty difficult to hit a ground running when he joined mid-season, so I don't want to write him off just yet. There's also Marvelous Nakamba, another player who you mentioned as well, who didn't do too badly in his first season in the Premier League as well, but you still get the impression that there's more to come from him. But when you talk about those players, you have to look at those who are now regarded as veterans in the Premier League. And yes, indeed, you have to look at Wilfred Ndidi, who has been more than fantastic for Leicester City, a veteran of the league, one of the finest players, top 3 in terms of tackling and interceptions. You expect him to continue to grow, and the big surprise is that none of the big clubs are coming for him yet. But looking at the players I expect to step up a notch, you have to look at probably the Aston Villa contingent of Africans. Don't forget that there are also two Egyptians over at Aston Villa as well, Mohamed El Mohammadi and of course Trezeguet. They too could be also instrumental in keeping Aston Villa afloat.
All right, in terms of the guys we expected, but we need to make special mention of some guys who cost a lot of money in the Premier League but haven't quite hit the ground running. Nicolas Pepe is Arsenal's most expensive player. A lot was expected from him. He seemed to come into his own, and in the final stages of the season.
Yeah.
This season is absolutely vital for him. He's got to hit the ground running.
Yeah, changes at Arsenal, where we saw their director of football, leave his position, and rumors in England were saying that it was all about Nicolas Pepe. Was he worth that over £70 million that he was bought for and all that? I think this season has to be it for him. Yeah, towards the end, Project Restart was good for Nicolas Pepe. He came in, one of the reasons Arsenal won the FA Cup. Fantastic performance when he came. He came on his own. He has it in him. You know it. You know that he's a fantastic player. You know that he can show up when he feels like it's fantastic left foot playing from the right hand side. It's something. This season just has to be his if he takes his time. But I think he's a fantastic player. Arteta seems to have faith in him, and that should push him going forward.
In terms of some of the big players, some of the African players who play at the big clubs and haven't been quite able to get their selves into the team. Navi Keita also comes into the fray, and today he is one that's pretty interesting. Came with a big profile from Germany with RB Leipzig, and it looked like he was a Liverpool type player. It hasn't particularly worked.
Well, it's been a very unfortunate season, very unfortunate time for Navi Keita at Liverpool. Hasn't been particularly fit, hasn't had consistency, hasn't had rhythm, and injuries hasn't particularly helped his cause. But after the restart of the Premier League, you got the impression that was the player that Liverpool paid more than £45 million for. His drive, his energy, his tenacity, his ability to intercept passes and also read the play also came to the fore. So you get the impression that Liverpool still expect much more from Navi Keita if they can keep him fit. And over at Everton as well, don't forget there's Jean-Philippe Bamé, the Ivorian international, who has never played, he's also had his own problems with injuries as well. And not forgetting the Nigerian international winger, younger brother, nephew, I beg your pardon, of JJ Okocha. I'm talking about Alex Iwobi, struggled a bit too after his move to Everton. And with the arrival of three new players at Everton, including James Rodriguez, you begin to wonder and also fear for his future. But I believe those players also more than capable of stepping up a notch.
All right, like we said at the top of the show, only 19 Africans have won the Premier League title. So we come to predictions now. And guys, will we see a 20th, maybe 21st, or 23rd, or maybe 5 African players might have Premier League medals at the end of this season? If that is going to happen, it has to be outside of Liverpool and Manchester City. Can that happen? The likelihood?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm looking at United. In as much as I want to say, oh, United, no, I don't think they can do it. I'm looking at Arsenal. I don't think they can do it. Chelsea don't have any African player at the moment.
Well, they do. They do have Hakim Ziyech.
Hakim Ziyech, yeah.
Ziyech.
So possibly, maybe Chelsea. So Chelsea, yeah, that's it. So Chelsea would be the team that might.
Can they do it?
That might. No, might. It's a very huge. It's a very huge might, like in caps.
Who will win the Premier League title?
Difficult to say, but you can't look beyond the top two again. Manchester City and Liverpool, they are clear, definitely heads and shoulders above the rest of the league. A lot of them trying to play catch up. Manchester City, I beg your pardon, Manchester United trying to play catch up. Chelsea also spending more than £200 million in the transfer season. But I cannot look beyond those two. It's Liverpool, either Liverpool or Manchester City for me.
He didn't answer the question, did he?
No, he didn't. He did not.
It's called diplomacy.
but I would answer the question.
Who's going to win?
I think it will be City. Good thing. No Leroy Sané anymore. Ferran Torres has come in, but that would be a very good opportunity for Riyad Mahrez to show. Whenever he comes in, he shows what he has. He's either scoring those goals or creating those chances for City. I think he's going to be very instrumental this season for City. City will win the Premier League title.
Again today, who will win the Premier League title?
Liverpool. They will retain their title.
We're waiting for that.
Arsenal could win. We can tell. All right, just some very, very quick statistics. 13.9% of the players in the EPL last season were Africans, and it was Nigeria who had the most minutes. Nigerians had the most minutes in the Premier League, followed by Senegal, Ivory Coast. They were the top three teams that averaged the longest minutes in the Premier League last season. Whether that will change is a big story. Remember, the transfer window is still open, so more Africans could still be part of the Premier League before the window shuts. Thank you very much, guys. Just the roll call again. I said Arsenal.
I said City.
I said Liverpool.
All right, don't forget, you can also follow us on social media. You can head to the website first up, newscentral.africa, and on social media at newscentraltv on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can drop your comments at the base of this video, and we'll be sure to respond. Let's know who you think will win the Premier League title. Tunde thinks it's going to be Liverpool. Namdi doesn't support United. He's gone for the City rivals, City. And I think that Arsenal can do it with Mikel Arteta. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.